Imagine a player who stands at 7 feet 3 inches, blocks more shots than anyone in the league, and has a better pull-up three-point percentage than Steph Curry. Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's Victor Wembanyama. The NBA has seen plenty of generational talents, but Victor? He might just be the one to break the mold entirely. Victor Wembanyama is not just tall. He's redefining what it means to be a basketball phenom. Averaging nearly more blocks per game in the second half of the season than the second and third leading shot blockers combined, Wembanyama is already making waves defensively. But it's not just his defense. Picture this, a 7 feet 3 inches big man pulling up from three, shooting at a higher clip than elite guards like Steph Curry, Trae Young, and Damian Lillard. That's right, Victor Wembanyama isn't just a shot-blocking menace, he's a bona fide offensive threat as well. But when I say the NBA should be worried, I'm not simply referring to his skill set. I'm talking about what Wembanyama himself told the world. I'm learning, and I'm worried for the opponents in a couple of years. Those words should send shivers down the spine of every team in the league. This is a young man who already knows his potential and is driven to improve, relentlessly, rising through challenges. If you need more proof of his mentality, look no further than the recent Olympic Games. Just a week ago, France went toe-to-toe with the United States for the gold medal. It was a game that kept everyone on the edge of their seats, France competing admirably, only to be outdone by a clutch performance from Stephen Curry. This defeat, however, may have ignited a fire in Wembanyama that nobody in the league wanted him to have. Remember, Victor is just a rookie. And yet, in his first season, he was already a dominant defensive force, blocking shots and contesting shots like a seasoned veteran. Offensively, he was pulling up for threes with an accuracy that many seasoned NBA guards could only dream of. And now, after losing a gold medal in his home country, Wembanyama carries a chip on his shoulder, a chip that may propel him to even greater heights. What makes the situation even more alarming for NBA teams? In that very Olympic gold medal match, Victor Wembanyama led the entire game in scoring, dropping 26 points and pulling down 7 rebounds against a team loaded with NBA talent. At just 20 years old, Wembanyama was the standout performer on a stage filled with some of the greatest basketball players in the world. Matchup nightmare. And let's talk about matchups. Wembanyama is often criticized for struggling against larger, more physical centers like Joel Embiid. But here's the thing, those matchups cut both ways. Sure, Embiid can bully Wembanyama in the paint, but Wembanyama is nearly impossible to guard on the perimeter. His combination of ball handling, length, and mobility makes him a nightmare for opposing bigs. Take, for instance, a recent matchup against the Brooklyn Nets' Nick Claxton. Wembanyama isolated Claxton on the perimeter, crossed him one way, then the other. Claxton did everything right defensively, but Wembanyama's strides were just too much to handle. What should have been a tough offensive possession turned into a layup. The only other player in the league capable of doing that? Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then there was that jaw-dropping dunk against Charlotte, where Wembanyama used Trae Jones as a screen, burst past the defense, and threw down an emphatic dunk. Plays like that showcase not just his athleticism, but his quickness, his ability to move like a guard despite standing 7 feet 3 inches. Versatility on display. Wembanyama's real strength lies in his versatility. Sure, he can throw down ferocious dunks and block shots at an elite level. But what makes him truly special is his ability to handle the ball like a guard and shoot from anywhere on the court. Whether it's crossing up defenders on the perimeter or attacking the rim off the dribble, Wembanyama is a matchup nightmare for any big man in the league. For him to fully realize his potential and put the NBA on high alert, he needs to continue developing his ball handling and driving ability. We've already seen glimpses of this in his rookie season, plays where he makes even solid defenders like Walker Kessler look helpless as he effortlessly glides to the rim. It's one thing to have a good handle as a 7-footer. It's another thing entirely to pair that with legitimate speed and agility. Defenders must respect Wembanyama's jump shot, which opens up driving lanes that he can attack with ease. He can turn even simple plays into highlight reels, using his freakish athleticism to throw down dunks and finish at the rim in ways that seem almost unfair. Consistency is key. What separates the great players from the truly legendary ones is their ability to deliver consistently in the clutch. When we think of the best players in the league, guys like Giannis, Luka, or LeBron, they all have a go-to move, a signature shot they can rely on when the game is on the line. This is the next step for Wembanyama. So far, we've seen flashes of brilliance in his offensive game. He's shown off a unique combination of a finger roll and a hook shot, something almost reminiscent of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook. Whether he perfects that shot or develops something new, Wembanyama's ability to create a consistent offensive weapon will be crucial to his success. Imagine trying to stop a 7 feet 3 inches giant who can get to the rim in just 1 or 2 dribbles and finish over even the league's best defenders. Passing prowess. And don't sleep on his passing ability either. Yes, he had his fair share of turnovers as a rookie, something that's almost inevitable when playing on a young, rebuilding team. But Wembanyama also showcased flashes of brilliance with his playmaking. His vision and ability to make quick decisions on the court are reminiscent of the league's best passing big men, like Nikola Jokic. Whether it's making a slick bounce pass in transition or threading the needle through a collapsing defense, Wembanyama's passing is one of the most underrated aspects of his game. He can read the defense, anticipate movements, and deliver pinpoint passes that very few big men in the league are capable of making. The future is bright. In the end, it's clear that Victor Wembanyama is a player like no other. The combination of his size, skill, and basketball IQ makes him a generational talent. As he continues to refine his game and add new layers to his offensive repertoire, the sky truly is the limit for this young star. The question now is, how long will it take for the rest of the league to catch up? Because if Victor Wembanyama continues on this trajectory, the NBA will have more than just a new superstar on its hands. They'll have a player capable of changing the game entirely.